Good morning. In this video lesson, we are going to discuss about the basics of electrical circuits. And this lesson is meant for diploma level students, that is 10 plus students. And we have recorded these lessons for our students. Now first let us see the definition of electrical circuit. It is the interconnection of two or more simple circuit elements. Circuit elements can be maybe resistor, inductor or capacitor. So electrical circuit is the interconnection of two or more simple circuit elements. Types of circuit elements. Circuit elements may be classified into four groups: active and passive elements, unilateral and bilateral, linear and non-linear, lumped and distributed elements. Active elements. First let us see what is meant by active elements. Voltage sources and current sources are the examples for the active elements. That is an element which is able to supply the energy to the circuit. That is active element. Examples. This is independent voltage source. This is independent current source. This is the arrow. Dependent voltage source. Dependent current source. These two are independent voltage and current sources. These two are dependent sources. So these are the examples for the active element. So active element is one which is able to supply the energy to the circuit. Passive element is one which can dissipate or store the electrical energy. Examples: resistor, inductor, capacitor. So resistor units are, symbol is this, and units are ohms. Resistor units are ohms. Unit symbol this is. And inductor, it is denoted by L and its units are henries. It is capital H. And capacitor, that is capacitance, is denoted by C and units are farads. So these are, resistor is energy dissipating element, and whereas inductor and capacitor are energy storing elements. So passive element is one which can dissipate or store the electrical energy. Okay. If anybody is interested, you can note down. Next. It's passive elements. Next, unilateral and bilateral elements. Unilateral element, if the polarity of the voltage is changed, then the characteristics of VI is also changed. In unilateral element, if the polarity of the voltage is changed, then the characteristics of VI is also changed. That is, suppose if we change the terminal of the component, then the properties of the circuit change. For example, if you consider a diode, by changing its terminals, then current flowing is stopped because the diode becomes reverse biased. It conducts only in one direction. So we can say that diode is a unilateral device. All the semiconductor devices are unilateral except diode. Diode is a bilateral. Okay? So unilateral element or a device, if the polarity of the voltage is changed, then the characteristics of VI is also changed in unilateral element. Bilateral. If the polarity of the voltage is changed, then the characteristics of VI remain same in bilateral. Okay? For example, if you consider a resistor, if we connect any resistor with changed terminals, then we see no effect on the system. The best example of a bilateral element is a transmission line or any conducting wire. All linear elements are bilateral, but the reverse is not true. That is, all bilateral are not linear. No doubt. Next, linear and non-linear elements. Okay. Linear element is one whose parameters are constant with the time. Also, the parameters do not change with the voltage or current, and the circuit follows the Ohm's law. Okay. That is, VA characteristics of a linear circuit is a straight line passing through the origin. A linear circuit or a linear element is one whose parameters are constant with the time, and also they do not change with the voltage or current, and the circuit follows Ohm's law. Resistors, capacitors, transformers, and inductors are linear elements. Nonlinear. Nonlinear element is one whose parameters vary with time and voltage or current. They do not follow the Ohm's law. And VA characteristics of the nonlinear circuit is not a straight line. Transistors, diodes are nonlinear. Okay. So linear element is one whose parameters do not vary with the time and do not change with the voltage or current, and also they follow the Ohm's law. Whereas nonlinear element is the one whose parameters vary with the time and change with voltage or current, and also the circuit don't follow the circuit doesn't follow the Ohm's law. You can note down. Yes. Next, lumped and distributed parameters. Lumped parameters are physically separable elements in the network, such as resistors, inductors, capacitors. Distributed elements they are distributed in the system and they cannot physically be separated from the system. For example, transmission. Okay. Next. Resistance. Resistance is the physical property of a circuit element which opposes the flow of current. Resistance is the physical property of a circuit element that opposes the flow of electrical current. Resistance restricts the flow of electric current through a material. It is an element, resistor is an element which opposes the flow of current. Resistance is the property, whereas resistor is the element. Resistor is the element which opposes the flow of current. The unit of resistance is ohms and is represented by the symbol. This is the symbol of ohm. The symbol of the resistor is shown below. So this is the symbol of the resistor. Quantitatively, the value of the resistance is obtained by Ohm's law. The resistance is given by the ratio of the voltage to the current. When an electric current flows through any conductor, heat is generated due to the collision of electrons with atoms. The power absorbed by the resistor is given by P is equal to VI, that is equal to I square R volts. Okay? So resistance is the property and resistor is an element which opposes the flow of current. Resistance is given by the ratio of voltage to the current, and power absorbed by the resistor is given by I square R watts. Units of power is watts. The energy lost in the resistance in the form of heat is expressed as W is equal to V square R by T joules. Capacitance. Next element is capacitor. So capacitance is the property of the capacitor. Capacitor is an element consisting of two conducting plates. Here it is given as device, but actually it is an element consisting of two conducting plates separated by a dielectric material which stores electrical energy in the form of electric field. Capacitance is the capability of an element to store the electrical charge within it. Capacitor is the element which stores electrical energy in the form of electric field. And it consists of two conducting plates separated by a dielectric material. The unit of capacitance is farads and the symbol of the capacitor is this. Quantitatively, capacitance is a measure of charge per unit voltage that can be stored in an element. So capacitance is given by Q by V. The current through the capacitor is given by I is equal to dQ by dt. That is equal to, and from the above equation, you know that Q is equal to CV. So by substituting this CV here, you get C into dV by dt. Okay. The energy stored in the capacitor is given by W is equal to half CV square joules. Inductance. Next is inductance. It is the property of the material by which it opposes any change of current. It opposes any change in current. Okay? Resistor opposes the flow of current. Here inductor opposes the change in current passing through the inductor. A wire of a finite length, when twisted into a coil, it becomes a simple inductor. A wire of finite length, when twisted into a coil, it becomes a simple inductor. It is a coil which possesses the property of inductance. The unit of inductance is henries. The symbol for an inductor is this. When a coil carries a varying current, an EMF is induced in it due to the change of flux linkages. The induced EMF is given by L into dI by dt, where L is inductance and dI by dt is rate of change of current. The energy stored in an inductor is given by W is equal to half Li square joules. Okay? So note down now this lower resistance. Next slide. Next. Next. Next, energy source. Energy source is the one which supplies electrical energy to the circuit. So there are basically two types of energy sources. There are voltage sources and current sources. Batteries and generators are normally used as voltage sources. Most of the semiconductor devices like transistor etc. treated as current sources. Energy sources is the one which supplies electrical energy to the circuit. Voltage sources and current sources. Batteries and generators are normally used as voltage sources, and most of the semiconductor devices like transistor etc. are treated as current source. Next, ideal voltage source. An ideal voltage source is defined as the energy source which delivers a constant voltage to the load connected across its terminals irrespective of the load current variations. Okay. So, ideal voltage source delivers a constant voltage to the load connected across its terminals irrespective of the load current variations. Even though the load current changes, the energy supplied, that is the voltage supplied by the voltage source, remains constant. Okay. Now this is the ideal voltage source symbol, and here circuit load is connected. Load is connected. So even the IL varies, voltage at these terminals, it remains constant. Okay, that is VL remains constant. VL equal to VS. Actually, here this is load variable load. Okay, load varies, current varies. So even though current is varying, VL remains constant. That is equal to VS. That is shown in the graph. Practical voltage source. Ideal voltage source, it does not have the internal resistance, but practically energy source, that is voltage source, has small internal resistance in series with the voltage source and represented by RS as shown in the figure. So this is the practical voltage source. Practical voltage source. Now here VL is not equal to VS. VL is not equal to VS. It varies. That is slightly it varies. It decreases slightly. This is the VA characteristic of ideal voltage dashed line. Whereas this is the practical voltage. Practical voltage. Because of the presence of the RS, it slightly decreases. Slightly decreases. Next, ideal current source. It is a source which delivers a constant current to the load connected to its terminals, irrespective of the load voltage variations. This is the symbol for the ideal current source. So IL is equal to IS, even though VL is variable. Okay? VL is variable. IL equal to IS. This is ideal current source. Whereas in practical current source, there will be a internal resistance which is connected in shunt with the current source. So this is the symbol for practical current source. This is a circuit with the practical current source. So because of the presence of this resistance, shunt resistance, that is internal resistance, the current through its terminal decreases slightly with the increase in the load voltage. With increase in the load voltage. Okay. Now you know the next. Next. Next, source transformation. Replacing one source by an equivalent source is called source conversion. Okay. Replacing one source by an equivalent source is called source conversion. It is often necessary or convenient to convert a voltage source or a current source, voltage source to current source and vice versa in solving complex networks. So replacing one source by an equivalent source is called source conversion. Conversion of a voltage source into current source. Any voltage source Vs in series with the resistance R can be represented by a current source in parallel with the resistance R as shown below. And the magnitude of the current source is given by Vs by R. Okay. This is the voltage source. This can be converted into a current source, equivalent current source, where Is is given by Vs by R, and this R is in shunt with the current source. RC. Next, conversion of current source into voltage source. Any current source in parallel with the resistor R can be represented by a voltage source in series with the resistance. In series with the resistance. Any current source in parallel with the resistance R can be represented by a voltage source in series with the resistance R as shown in the figure, and the magnitude of this Vs is given by Is into R. This is the one, that one. Current source into equivalent voltage source. Okay. Next. Next. Now let us see some problems on this. Convert the given voltage source into voltage sources into equivalent current sources. So in the first problem, Vs is given as 20, R is 5 ohms. Okay. So Is is equal to Vs by R, that is 4 amperes. 4 amperes. So 4 amperes current source in parallel with 5 ohms resistor. 4 amperes current source in parallel with 5 ohms. Similarly, in the second problem, 10 volts is the voltage source value, that is Vs value. Vs by 2. Vs by 2 Now here you can see the polarity. Here this is A terminal is positive with respect to B, whereas here C is negative with respect to D. So you have to change the direction of the current. 10 by 2 is the current source value, that is 5 amperes. And in shunt with 2 ohms, no doubt in it. But C is negative, D is positive. So the current flows from C to D. C to D, this way. Next, convert the given current source into voltage source. So current source IS is given as 3 amperes and 1 ohm is the shunt resistor. So voltage source, in case of voltage source, Vs is equal to Is into R. 3 into 1, that is 3 volts. 3 volts. And this is 1 ohm only. Same thing, R is same. But the direction is from A to B. So A is negative with respect to B. Note down. Okay. Okay. That's all for now. We'll continue in the next class.